Why, hello there. Welcome back to Phantasy Star Online 2. Today, we're doing one of my simultaneously favorite and least favorite missions in the game. That being Battleship Yamato, or more correctly, Fantastical Battleship Yamato, spelled with a PH because, of course. Well, really it's because this is a Phantasm battleship. So the basic, I guess you could say, story behind this is a guy gets mad, he likes Japanese military stuff, summons a battleship. I've also left this wonderful cutscene in here just for you. I missed out a bit of XP, but, you know, I wanted to leave it in, so you get to enjoy this along with me. It's a pretty cool cutscene, you know. The non sort of, I guess, these sort of like fully 3D animated cutscenes they're beautifully done. Like, I don't know the guys who did this, but Lord are they talented. Yeah, so that's sort of essentially sort of setting up what we're going to be doing in a second. So as you can see, we come out of it. You can see me in my new Shiva attire. I believe I changed it last video, but I didn't talk about it. But yeah, I decided to change. I'm gonna be honest, I've been kind of schizophrenic regarding my outfit changes. But as you can see, I am currently playing a brand new class. No more Gunblade. I am playing the Hero class, which is a class eventually that I intended to, you know, sort of, I guess, focus on. It's gonna be my main class until the end of the game. But the end of the game came much sooner than I expected, so, you know, I switched out of it. Although, I was originally intending to play a different class, which you will get to see next episode. But yeah, using Hero class is a lot of fun to play. It has this weird pushing mechanic, so if you can get really good at it, it has one of the highest mechanical skill ceilings of any class in the game. But I think you do have to spend a lot of time just getting good at it. But yeah, basically all we're doing right now is the ice missile has made this giant frozen landscape, and so we're trying to get close to the battleship to attack it by just cutting up these phantasms, which are they're the enemies from episode 4. Oh, and there is Hagith Fempt. So the guy who created the battleship is a guy called Hagith Ani, something like that, and he has this thing called an avatar arm. Which avatar arm is basically like personalized super weapons from episode 4. Episode 4 is weird. I might make a video at a point just talking about the story. That was my sort of to just try and bring new people who are coming in just a new Genesis, get them up to speed on the story of the base game, in case they don't feel like playing it, because, you know, it's a long story and there's a lot of just kind of filler stuff. But episode 4 is weird. So the Hagith Fempt guy, that's sort of his Hagith Ani's, I guess, weapons sentient form, I guess. It's weird. Oh yes, the Battleship Yamato shoots laser beams. I forgot to mention that. For some reason they decided it should shoot laser beams. Which, the actual fight with Battleship Yamato is, it's not very fun. You'll see why I dislike it so much in a minute. But for right now, we're just cutting our way through all these phantasms. The phantasm enemies, some people really like them, some people really hate them. Episode 4 is definitely for the most part, it's a love it or hate it episode. It does a lot of weird, different stuff. And like, it also starts really slow, so I'll if I ever make that video about going over the story, I'll definitely talk about it more about it then, but just know for right now that I think it's definitely safe to say it's the most controversial, I guess. But yeah, Hero has this weird weapon switching mechanic, which you'll see me, I think I did it accidentally here, although I'm not 100% sure. This was recorded quite a while ago, which, I know the weapons are really fun. Like, Hero's a really fun class. I would have loved to mess around with it more, but unfortunately, New Genesis took away all the really cool classes. Although, I haven't played all the classes yet, so who knows? Maybe it might be something I like. I'm enjoying. I think Ranger's been pretty fun. But yeah, basically our goal right now is we're on the battleship. We're gonna blow up a bunch of these turrets, kill all the dudes. You know, fun stuff. And eventually, once we do enough stuff, we should be transitioning into Phase 2. Phase 2 is bad. I'm just gonna say it. Phase 2, I do not like it. Also, we are playing on extremely hard, in case you couldn't read the title, because this quest is old content, and people want to do it. And even on XH, and we us only having 8 people, it was actually pretty fine. But yeah, so it breaks out of the ice, it regenerates all the cannons, and then it starts flying, and from this point it just gets even more ridiculous. Just episode 4. What are you gonna do? Right, so then they put us into the waiting room, but the point is we're going next into the AIS. Now, in previous videos, you have seen me use the AIS Vega. I like the Vega. It's not horrible. It's very easy to control. That's because it was mainly designed for moving around in a 3D environment. Very well. The regular AIS was mainly designed for more ground-based combat, is my understanding of it. And Phantom Battleship Yamato, or Fantastical Battleship Yamato, is more of an aerial combat. So you're trying to fight something that's flying and moving around, actually, for its size, very quickly. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And you're fighting this flying thing with something that was clearly meant to be fought, with a sort of a vehicle that was clearly meant to be used on the ground. And it is unbelievably annoying. Oh yeah, those missiles they're sort of... If you see my Apprentice video, yeah, you'll see it does not gain and lose height very easily. And it is very annoying to maneuver. And, this next footage is going to be very painful for, I assume, most of you. But, yeah, this thing actually moves surprisingly quickly, and it also has a weird, hyperspace teleport function. So that you'll see it sort of zooms off, and then it appears somewhere else, and it has giant satellite cannons, and it's spawning these Zero Fighters, the AM-61s, I think. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to get some water real quick. Yeah, it is... You have to get very close to its weak points to actually do any damage. Unfortunately, its weak points are also where a lot of its weapons are, so... You're gonna die a lot in this mission. Fortunately, the AIS just automatically revives itself. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have that... I think the mission itself, I think it's a really cool mission. I just think that the gameplay is horrible. I like the idea. So, alright, here we go. Good idea, but terrible execution. Like, this should be the point at which the Vega came in, because... Oh my goodness, doing this fight with the Vega would be like 100 mil... This fight would be awesome if you could do it with the Vega. I would love this fight if you could do it with the Vega. I've actually softened my opinion on Nemesis Angeles a bit, just because I finally sort of learned how to use the Vega properly, and that fight's not terrible, and even then, Nemesis Angeles is pretty horrible. So even with the Vega actually makes him pretty good. This fight with the Vega, I think it would be really fun. Unfortunately, we're doing it with the base AIS, and the base AIS is terrible. It's really bad. I hate using it. It's not as bad as the ride droids, which I don't think I'll ever get to show off the ride droids, because they're used for like a couple missions, and that's basically it. They're basically like, I don't know, like little speedery doos. You can't actually make them stop very easily, and they're terrible. They also have a problem with gaining and losing height in a really annoying way. So, And they're also introduced in Episode 4, which, you start to understand why so many people dislike this episode so much. I mean, the other fight in here that I'll be doing next, Deus Esca, is actually You know what? I'm gonna say it. I like Deus SEGA. I like his fight. His fight's pretty cool. This fight is... yeah. It's not so cool. Not so cool. And unfortunately, I'm sort of running out of stuff to say about it because it really is just kind of a cluster truck of just stuff going everywhere. And it's a bit hard to tell what's going on at any given time. It's not... stuff isn't telegraphed super well. It's... and the terrible AIS controls just make it even worse. So you're sort of just running around kind of hoping that you're doing the right thing and just trying to do damage and trying not to get completely destroyed by all of the 1,000,001 projectiles that are just going everywhere. So, yeah. This it slowly becomes... this is actually only the second time I've actually done this because... again, because of the way they do urgent quests are sort of, I guess you could say, they're supposed to be themed around whichever episode's active. So when I was playing, it was mostly episode 5 and 6 quests that were coming up. This is back in episode 4, which came out. I know in Japan it came out around 2016-17 ish, around there. But they don't release these things all at once. They sort of release them in little chunks. So you get to do a bit of content, a bit more content, a bit more content. Because even when I was playing, they were still releasing more episode 6 stuff. Like, I think Face of the Abyss and Twisted with Hatred all came out roughly around the time I really started playing, getting into the game. Excuse me, I cannot talk. One moment. Sorry, talking really dries out my throat. Anyway, what was I saying? Right, so this was current content a couple years back. Excuse me. And, oh yeah, this is where it gets even more lasers, which, it looks cool. It looks really cool. I mean, I love how everything looks. I love the ideas. I love the design. I just hate the gameplay. Unfortunately, in a video game, gameplay's like 90% of what you need to nail. That's not good. Everything else doesn't matter. Although, I will say, this is another case where the music does kind of save this one. The theme for this song is... the theme for this battle is borderless. But the borderless attack, technically, because... there's... this is another... I'm going through the soundtrack right now, and there's like a million different versions of a bunch of songs, and borderless is one that... oh, excuse me, like 3 different versions. There's like an instrumental, there's an intro version, which I think you heard when that first cutscene was playing, but the current theme is Borderless Attack, and Borderless Attack, or just, I'm just gonna call it Borderless, whatever. Borderless is a really good song. It's really good. I love this song. Unfortunately, it doesn't really save the gameplay. But it does have that. It's like, it's in the, what is it called? Primordial Darkness second phase category of, good, terrible fights with awesome music. You know. What can you do, though? So... we're sort of slowly whittling it down, blowing up its little points, destroying its turrets, and whatnot, and so on and so forth. It's not a very well... it's hard to tell how well you're progressing in the fight until, like, the actual boss fight second phase starts up. Because it's just... even if you destroy the turrets, it doesn't really feel like anything's changed, because it's just... there's just stuff flying everywhere. It's just hard to focus. Yeah, I guess what you could say, like, it's hard to tell how well you're doing, or how close you are. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here. But, hey, it looks cool and it's got awesome music, so... if you can stand the terrible gameplay, it's not so bad. Well, I wouldn't say it's the... is it the worst fight in the game? Because There are some pretty bad ones. Well, not some pretty bad. There are some ones that I just don't really like. Elder's a bit boring, but he's not awful. Apprentice is both of her fights, which you saw me do, are fine. Luther's alright. Gemini's alright. I also get... Oh, I didn't get to do Profound Darkness for you guys. I just remembered that. I didn't get to do Profound Darkness. Or Luther, for that matter. I've done Luther like a million times. Why didn't I just... Oh, good lord. Or I didn't even get to do... whatchamacallit? What's his face? Persona the Masquerade. That's what I'm calling him. He's not... He's Persona the... He's Dark Falls Persona / Persona the Mask, technically, but I call him Persona the Masquerader. Long story. If I ever get to do my story thing, I will talk about it more then. But either way, you know... Whatever. Point is... There's so many fights that I would have loved to record stuff of, but I didn't get to. I might go back and record some more stuff. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. I might. Oh yeah, I think I didn't know what to do here. You're supposed to destroy all those things around the map, but I guess I didn't realize that. Again, it's my second time doing the fight. Cut me some slack, guys, please. Although, should be getting pretty close to the end here. We have almost killed the spam fest of this, the spam fest machine. That's what I'm calling it now. It is... I think it would have been slightly better if I had known how to use the tab targeting system a bit better. But even still, it is such a massive mess of a fight. It's... Yeah, you've heard me complain enough about it. You know my opinions. Alright, whatever. Oh yeah, we're getting pretty close to done here. This video should be going up, hopefully, tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow. A little bit of a longer gap between videos, but hey, you know, what can you do? And then crashes into the ocean. And dissolves into particles and stuff. But yeah, that's Fantastical Battleship Yamato. It's a fight, I guess you could say. I don't, again, it's got some really good stuff, and some really terrible stuff. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me, but either way, I do hope you enjoyed my ramblings. I will be back, hopefully in a few days after this video goes live, with a brand new one. And other than that, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.